This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
Turkey season opened up in Tennessee Saturday morning.
It's here,
the
baby.
Youth Hunt was the weekend before. Talk about your opening weekend.
Well, lots of birds gobbling. It was interesting on Saturday because there was zero wind. You could hear way off of the property and on the property. They gobble good. They gobble good on the limb. They gobble good on the ground. Decided to not set in a blind, not use decoys, kind of do it the way I like to do it, I guess. Now, I will sit in a blind and we'll use decoys, but that's just, didn't want to carry him up the hill, didn't want to do all that stuff. Ended up working a bird, came out a point for him 300-400 yards. And he was coming. He was answering me hard, and I told my buddy, and this was the mistake right here, I said, we need to move up a little bit. So we moved up in this junction of roads to the edge of our food plot, and he was coming. He came and went and got by us because the way we slipped into that field edge, there was a roll in the hill, and he stayed over the bank, and the hen came up beside us. She presented us a perfect shot, and you could hear him over the hill just drumming. It was echoing. And so when he started doing that, another bird gobbled and was coming to us. So
the moving hurt you?
Well, our choice of setup, yeah. If we'd have sat right where we were, we could have caught him right all the way down through there to us. But
why did you move? And I'm going to say this. You are the best turkey hunter I know. I mean, you're by far the best turkey
I don't know.
hunter.
It was a gut feeling. He had come so far, and I thought that was going to be his destination spot. You know how they are when they get to a spot,
right?
And that's where they want to be. It's going to take them a while to break, to come to you. There's a lot of hens on this property, and I thought he's going to stand there, gobble up a hen, which he did actually, but it was later. So I don't know. I just thought it best that we move up a little bit instead of sitting right where we were.
How far did you move?
250 yards.
It's a pretty good move.
Yeah, I mean.
So when you went from where to where you set up the second time, how much distance did you cut between you and the bird?
Not quite half. He was all the way out one ridge from our food plot, which is probably 300 yards out to there, and then we were probably 300 yards from that plot. Okay. We'd set up kind of in the middle of everything. This junction of roads, there's a ridge that goes out, a holler behind us, and the food plot down there at the end. And I thought if I got there, that would cut his distance off. We had plenty of time. And actually, we just dropped over the lip of the hill so we didn't have to walk the wide open, road and ridge and food plot. We could just circle down and come in and pop up. In my mind, I was already having nuggets, early breakfast, and that's the problem. If patience kills more turkeys than the aggression.
Now that I'm an old man and don't move as like I did when I was a young man, I probably do kill more birds because I am more apt to say I am not climbing that ridge. I'm not running out there another 200 yards. But just let me ask you this. After you moved and it didn't work, did you consider it a mistake? Did you sit there and go, I screwed up?
Well, we called the turkey in, and we had him under 30 yards. So yes and no. We didn't get him, but called him in. That was the end game. So we ended up just sitting there for 30, 45 minutes, let everything calm down. Moved around where we had a better position, and he actually drifted back the way he came, and this other bird had drifted off, so we're in the middle of two now. So we started them back up, and they both started coming in again later, and that same bird that had come all the way out that ridge came right up to us, but unfortunately, the edge of that field, there's a narrow strip. It's about 10 yards of grass and briars, so we weren't right on the field edge, plus we had stayed back in the woods about 20 yards. So we got 30 yards to the edge of that. Little screen of brush. He came up there. Neither one of us could get a good shot at him. He's in full strut. Didn't want to shoot 40 yards in full strut, thinking he was going to come on.
Yeah.
And finally he gets a little calmed down and starts looking for us and just didn't have a good shot. He walked off. The other bird was coming in this way, and as that more dominant bird came in, that bird kind of stayed off and just gobbled here. Again, if we were sitting where we were originally sat in the morning, they'd have both crisscrossed right over us, just right over us. So, yeah, it's what makes you go back. It was fun.
And so if you had it to do over again. This episode of Sports Source Wild is brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. If you're talking about habitat work all across the state, or Hunters for the Hungry, where you can donate your deer meat, the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Joe, where can you find them at?
Bob, that's tnwf.org for more info.
Okay, now I want to talk about a mistake that cost you a bird. And we talked earlier about blinds and decoys. We did a show a few weeks ago about decoys. I know a lot of people don't like the combination of them, but you know what? You don't have 64-year-old legs, so...
Well, I'm not an anti-blind.
No, I know you're not anti-blind. I'm just saying there's people out there who don't like it. But
yeah, and I can see why. It's like you're putting me in the box. I'm like, in a prison movie, they're putting me in the box.
Remember, I used to tell you how much I hated hunting out of blind.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stand it. Could not stand to be in a blind. Well, anyway, now I am voluntarily in a blind. I'm out here at the same spot. This is Sunday morning that I hunted Saturday morning. And probably about 15 minutes after legal shoot, I get a bird gobble off the property, up a ridge, but I know more or less where he's at because I know that other piece of property. I've had permission to hunt over there before, so it's kind of like, okay, I know where you are. Started calling to him, he gobbled. Other birds started gobbling. There were probably 3 or 4 up in there. And so the bird that I was hunting started strutting. There's a great strut zone up there. It's called a gravel driveway. And that bird was on it, and he would gobble. And then a few minutes later, he would gobble.
Oh, he's going back and forth.
Coming back and forth, coming back and forth. So I'm sitting there. I'm not going crazy calling, but I keep hitting him back and forth. Other birds behind him are gobbling. So one time I hit him, and he's not there anymore. He's here. And this is a fairly steep ridge, not incredibly high, but that bird's probably 120, 130 yards away from me. But he's come down. He's off that strut zone, and he's came down. He is coming almost to the exact spot that those 2 jakes came the day before. So me sitting in a blind, and for all those at home who don't like blinds, sorry, I'm not going to say anything bad, but that's just the way this spot needs to be hunted. I turned my chair to where instead of facing here, I'm facing here. And that is where those two jakes came the day before, and that is where he is at, and by golly, this is all going to come together. I mean, I'll be home in time for cornflakes. So I'm sitting there, and then I hear, which if you can't hear that at home, that was just a little cluck, and I think it is a hen. Now I'm facing here, that's over here, and I'm thinking that hen is going to get to him before he gets to me, even though he's close.
So did you even turn to look, or you just zoned on your spot where you think he's going to come in?
I turned my head. I'm zoned on my spot, but I turned my head. I saw nothing. Just real quick doing this. I sat there 2 or 3 minutes, didn't hear him, didn't hear her. So I decided I'm going to give this guy one more call, even though he's probably a little bit too close. He can't see me. So I'm sitting there, and when I hit my diaphragm, I always raise my hand to my mouth. It's just a habit. I've done it forever. I raised my hand, I gave a couple of yelps, and that wasn't a hen. And he sees my hand come up. He's too far to shoot.
Oh yeah, they can see you in the blind. Yeah.
He's got too much stuff between him and me for me to even take a long shot. I wouldn't have taken that shot anyway. So he walks off. I'm thinking maybe he's going to loop back around. He doesn't putt. He doesn't run. But Joe, it was a rookie mistake. And the rookie mistake, okay, you could say raising my hand to call. That okay, bad enough. But the rookie mistake, I knew that wasn't a hen yelping. I knew it wasn't a hen yelping. Sounded nothing like a hen. And that was him just making a little noise coming in.
Yeah, there's definitely a different pitch between the gobbler and the hen. And a lot of times they'll come in, they'll cluck like that just to get a response from the hen, especially if they don't see a hen. They'll cluck around. It's just a proximal call or whatever the biologists call it. They're going to keep in touch with each other. They're always making some kind of little noise. And He's going to come in, cluck a few times. The hen's either going to respond or kind of maybe move toward him. He's going to see her. If he comes out and doesn't see anything, he's going to start clucking, looking around.
He got his response. It was me basically waving my hand at him. Hey, I'm in here. Good luck to you.
Yeah, they really key in on movement, any type of movement.
Oh, and that's what people who haven't done it before, they don't realize. And that bird was close. That bird was within 60 yards of me, so he was close. He's going to see that every time. But he could have been 160 yards. And if he's got line of sight, he's going to see that. And I think a lot of turkey hunters don't get it. A lot of new turkey hunters don't get it.
When working with the couple different organizations, we do wheelchair hunts, we do wounded warrior hunts, that kind of thing. I like to have my hunters and I wear all black, so you look like a shadow. So it's not as much contrast when you're looking back in there. If you have on light colored camo, you can look back in there and see that. If nothing else, it's a light contrast when you're moving. So if you have on all black, kind of shades you out. It's not as visible to those turkeys.
And you told me that today.
Well, and now you know. You were today years old when you found out.
and now I know. Well, anyway, you are going to be hunting more this week. I'm going to be hunting more this week. I'm going to go to 3 different places. You're going out of state again.
Yeah, Alabama is a thorn in my side. Hunting Alabama public has been interesting, to say the least. I thought Royal Blue or Sunquist or whatever the units are I hunt on up there, I thought they were crowded. Well, they are crowded. But Alabama was,
lots of folks.
It was like a racetrack. And actually the bird, I got in there and roosted a bird the night before, and I came in away opposite of the road access, thinking that bird's going to know somebody's going to be coming from the road. Right. And we came in from behind and ended up calling in a hen. And there was a gobbler and a hen together the evening before. Called the hen in, and the gobbler was no show.
Well, you know what's even worse?
It broke my heart.
You know what's even worse than it being crowded? Being crowded with people from Alabama. You got that. So anyway, Joe Justice, thank you very much. We would like everybody out there, if you've enjoyed what we've been talking about today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below, because maybe you're going to say things like, heck, I wave at my turkeys all the time, and they just come on in because they think I'm a friendly guy. So anyway, until next time, I'm Bob Hodge and Joe Justice. Thanks for watching the Sport Source Wild.